Hello internet, welcome back to Rusty Roads Gravel and a freezing cold December morning. Oh, we are down in Loch Doon, just south of Dalmennington in Ayrshire today on a ride I wasn't really planning to do. I didn't know where I was going to go this weekend, so I thought I'll just go wherever the weather seemed nice, and this is where we ended up. A bit of a slog out of Edinburgh, like 2 hours drive this morning, got up at silly o'clock, but here we are about 8:30 in the morning, overlooking the castle and the loch itself. I'll save the waffle for all that for at the end of the ride, I think, because it's quite chilly and I kind of want to get going. We will start on the banks of Loch Doon and cycle north around Craiglee up towards Loch Finless. There we will follow what is hopefully a track and not a marshy footpath over to Loch Braden and around the southern edge into Carrick Forest. We'll do a little loop of the woods before breaking out south from the forest drive to visit Tunskeen Bothy. After the Bothy, we retrace our steps back to the Carrick Forest drive, past Loch Riccar and back to the castle. Total of around 44 kilometres and 560 metres of climbing. So before we set off, I just wanted to quickly shout out a few people who have super thanked me on the old YouTubes there. So thanks to Ken Jones, DL of the USA, Sean Crossan and Michael Sinclair. Thanks to you guys, legends. If you want to support, please feel free to whack the super thanks down below or pop over to buy me a coffee, and you can support Download the Routes, all the other stuff from there as well. Alright, it's cold, let's go. So I'm climbing up this gravel track that seems to run parallel to the little road on the side of Loch Doon. So I guess it's your choice if you want to do the climbing of the gravel or the easiness of the road. I chose the gravel because why not? Whew. 7% climb here though. That's getting me warmed up all right. So I enjoyed that bit out of the woods there, then that's worth taking the detour off the road for. That nice little descending bit of gravel there. Then you get to see a nice view of the reservoir over the side. Alright, this track's a bit rough just here as we're climbing our way up over past a little reservoir. But I wasn't even sure this was a track at all when I was plotting it. I couldn't really tell whether it was a commute footpath type thing where it's just going to be marsh or whether I actually was going to get something out of it. But I think it's turning out to be good so far. So it's got a little bit more technical along here, on the edge of these little plantation of trees. A bit more marshy, a bit more single tracky, but still perfectly doable on a gravel bike so far. No problem. Okay, now we're on what I thought I was going to be on, a little narrow footpath, just going up the fence line here. Oh wow, this really is the marshy middle of nowhere. Probably could do with a bit of suspension and bouncing around a bit, but we'll keep going. I'm not sure where we go through there. There's a track in there somewhere. Let's see what we got. So as you've probably seen from old Frank's footage there, this isn't the most friendly of bits for a gravel bike. I think the combination of not low enough gearing to keep a decent cadence up some of the steeper ramps and the lack of suspension, I'm just bouncing off everything. I can't keep the power on the ground. So it has resorted to me doing a bit of hiker bike. Not the most satisfying of things, but we'll get there and then we'll get back onto the riding. Whew. So just gave up riding that, just ended up walking to the rest of the way to the top of this summit. Reservoir down there where we're going in a minute. I'll put the name below because I've forgotten the name of it already. But we'll be dropping down and then we'll go along the edge of it along there and then off into those woods over there for a bit. So I'm hoping that's all the hiker bike done, depending on what this descent's like. But yeah, not a good time. Not a good time that. Wet feet, cold feet, a lot of walking. Oh, needs a mountain bike. But if you're up for an adventure, have a go on it. It's tricky, but you know, you'll get through it. Okay, might take this one layer off, go down to the next layer, and let's head down. Whew. Here we are down then, off that pass. A challenge, but I'm glad it's done. So now we're going to go along this little single track here, along the edge of the loch. Now this is probably slightly easier, I'm hoping, because there's less of an elevation gain on it, but it might still be fairly technical, and also deaths have occurred, beware. Alright, let's go safely. You're not wrong about that sign. You're not wrong at all. Definitely mountain bikes. Just under a kilometre to go. Slightly feeling like I brought a knife to a gunfight here. I think if you had a slightly more aggressive gravel bike, more towards the wider tyres and more mountain bike end, you'd be okay. If your bike was more towards the bike touring end, you're definitely going to struggle along here. And if you're on a mountain bike, you'll have no trouble at all. You'll love it. I'm just stuck in the middle, not able to enjoy it, but also it's not actually that bad. So pretty nonplussed about this, to be honest. Oh yes, sweet, sweet gravel track. None of that mountain bike malarkey. Oh, I'm glad that's done. I only added that on because I couldn't make a loop anywhere else, and I thought it might be quite interesting to explore. I'm glad I've done it. I won't ride it again. It was a bit too rubbish for a gravel bike in my opinion. But by all means, have a go at it. Some good views up there. If you're up for a challenge, that's the place to cycle. But now we're going to do something slightly easier. Follow the easy gravel routes for a bit, and then I think we come back on ourselves and go into those woods perhaps. I think. We'll find out. Hey. So after that single track over the pass, this seems almost too easy on this wide forest gravel of the Carrick Forest gravel drive. I guess it's made for cars, so it's pretty easy going. A couple of bumps here and there, but yeah, this is great for chilling out on. Reminds me a bit of Aberfoyle actually, around here, with all the plantation trees and the big tracks. I should probably go back there again. It's been a little while now. Got to keep going back to remind yourself how great it is. It's starting to get a bit rougher now on the old track as we leave the main routes. This is a bit more adventurous feeling than the wide car-friendly gravel. Oh my word. All of a sudden single track. Right, we're going up into the woods here. It's probably a bit dark for filming, so I won't film much up here. But it looks pretty good, and I'll see you in a clearing further up, hopefully. So we popped out the top of the woods there, onto the moorland, and now we're on this kind of rough footpath again. So we'll see how much of this I can cycle before walking takes over. Ooh. So when I first plotted this route, I was just going up and down the Carrick Forest road and then up to the Bothy and back, and I thought that was too easy, too short and too easy. So I started bolting bits on, and now I've made it too hard. There's no happy medium here. So we're just still traipsing up this footpath to get to the top of this hill. Oh, yeah, maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew here. Alright, we're at the top. A very windy top, so we're going to drop back down again now, get out of this wind, back onto the easy gravel I think, and just relax for a bit. That again was another tricky bit, definitely tricky. So every switchback on this descent is basically get off and push. It's just far too rough for a gravel bike. Really been washed away down here. Pretty bad. They really didn't want anybody coming down here, did they? Look at these rocks. Oh well, over we go. It's a fresh dusting of snow up there. That's the first snow of the season I've seen. That's exciting. I like snow. There you go, Tunskeen Bothy, where as far as I can be really motivated to cycle to it. This track's really tough at the moment, it's really boggy and washed away, so I'm content with seeing it from here. I might send Frank over, get a close-up, but that's good enough for me. This has been horrendously hard. Taken way longer, way harder than I thought it was going to be. Good stuff. So Tunskeen was apparently the first MBA bothy to be restored / reconstructed as a project in 1965 by the esteemed Bernard Heath and friends, including some scouts who gave a hand to change it from an abandoned ruin into a dry, unlocked shelter that it is today. Alright, gonna snack up and ride back. Let's get out of this bit, this is really hard. Let's get out of here. So I've discovered why my foot wasn't going in the pedal. My entire cleat has come loose. All the bolts have come out, so my foot's just been sliding about. I thought it was the pedal, but it's not. So I'll get that tightened up. And while I do that, you can look at this view. Alright everyone, that's the castle back there where I started. I am done. Stats on the screen below. I totally underestimated this ride. I didn't bring enough food, brought enough water, but yeah, there was a lot more hiker bike than I first thought I was going to have, so it's taken me a long time. The weather's just about to turn. My mouth is frozen, can barely talk. So the Carrick Forest drive then, that was pretty samey, pretty unexceptional. Just blat along that really, that was alright. It was closed to traffic through the winter, so there was no one else on there other than the forestry, but it's Sunday so they weren't working. Track up to the Bothy, didn't enjoy that. Probably be fine if it was a nice sunny, like a sunny summer's day. That wouldn't be too bad just to pootle up, but on a windy winter's day, that was tough. And then the 2 extra loops, like the single tracks over and above. Yeah, I'm glad I did them. I wouldn't say I enjoyed them necessarily, but it's an experience. I've experienced them. I don't need to experience them again. So yeah, not a bad ride actually. Quite enjoyed it. Glad I came. Always glad I came. I just got cold toes, cold hands, cold nose, cold mouth. And I'm really hungry. So I'm off to go and get some lunch. It's probably more like dinner now. But yeah, I'll go and do that. And like, comment, subscribe, do the things. Support me if you want to. Either via buy me a coffee or with the super thanks thing in YouTube. Or just watching, or just subscribing. That's more than enough. Good. Right, I'm quite tired. I'm off. See you next time, guys.